Hello, my amazing manifestors. Thank you so much for joining me for yet another Tarot Tuesday. This is quickly becoming one of my favorite days because I get to sit here with some of my amazing friends and colleagues and put all their mail out there. So I am really excited about my guest today. Today, I have the pleasure of sitting with Gerald A. Pimpleton, who is one of my money magicians, as well as an amazing investment advisor. So if you need some help getting your money straight, Gerald is where it's at. Hey there, Gerald. Thank you so much for joining me today. How are you?
I am doing absolutely fantastic. Fantastic.
Very good. Thank you so much for coming on today. Can you tell us a little bit about who you are for those who haven't met you yet?
I am a 46-year-old, 15-year veteran of the financial services industry, and I've worked from investments and stocks all the way down to mom and pop businesses and personal investments. I am a serial entrepreneur. I hate using that word, but that's just the truth of the matter. If it don't make money, it don't make sense.
Right?
Um, and I believe in helping people make their money work harder for them than they work for it. And
Nice.
that's my passion. That's my heart. That's what I love. And I believe in if I help enough people, then I'll have everything that I'll ever need.
Absolutely. I actually just posted that on my page this morning. So
Yeah.
I absolutely agree with that. Life is about service. And again, thank you so much for agreeing to do this. Have you ever had a tarot reading?
I've never, ever had a tarot reading. So I am
Okay.
putting myself in your hands.
Okay. What are your thoughts before we get started? What were you thinking when I asked you to do this in the first place?
I kind of chuckled because throughout our friendship, you already read my mail anyway before I get it all the time. So I was like, oh, okay, well, this will be nothing different than what you already do. It'll just be live.
Okay, very good. Alrighty, so I'm excited. As I was telling you before we went live, for me, I am a coach first and foremost. And so what I do is all about giving solutions. And so for anyone who is watching, if you would like a reading or if you would like to be a guest on a future Tarot Tuesday, definitely go ahead and leave that in the comments. But everything that we will discuss is all about solutions for moving forward. So before I jump into your reading, Gerald, I'm going to go ahead and just do a general reading for the group, and then we will get started.
Awesome.
All righty. And of course, I always have my crystals. They call me the crystal coach. So today, the crystals that I have, I always have my selenite with me. Selenite is my bae. Selenite is amazing for cleansing your energy. So whenever I'm doing a reading, I generally have selenite and clear quartz at minimum. But today I decided to bring out my tiger's eye. So we'll be working with tiger's eye as well. Um, okay, so just kind of doing a general pull for the group. And hey there, Margot. I see she just hopped on. Okay, this is quite interesting. So I just pulled some general cards for the group, and all of them are really saying the same thing. So I got three cards. I got the Eight of Wands, the Seven of Wands, and the Five of Swords. And each of these are speaking to this feeling that you're getting the short end of the stick. And so and again, this is just kind of generally for those who are watching. there's this feeling that you're getting the short end of the stick and that you're kind of fighting to be seen. You're fighting for this validation of knowing that not only are you enough in who you are, but that also what you do is valued. Understand that your value has to come from within, and you don't have to prove anything to anyone except yourself. Recognize that you are enough. That is actually one of the favorite affirmations I have my clients recite when we first start working together. I am enough exactly as you are. If you never do a single thing again, know that you are enough. Know that you have within you everything that you need to accomplish what you've been called to do. I'm getting the feeling that there are a few people watching who have been called to something greater than themselves, but they're struggling with this feeling of not being seen. Do what you've been called to do. Stand in who you are, confidently in who you are, and that is enough. You are enough. So that is my general reading for the group. And I see some reactions over there, Gerald. What's going on? Did that one hit home?
I thought you were going to start with other people, not with me.
So that one definitely was for other people, but I'm glad to see that it fit what you're going through as well. And hey there, Rachel. Thanks so much. I see you just hopped on. All righty. So can you pick a number for me, Gerald?
6.
Okay. All righty. Interesting. Okay. So I only chuckle because knowing you, so what happens for me as I'm pulling these cards, I kind of get a really quick flash of the big picture. And so knowing you, I can definitely already tell that that these that this is on point. Do I have your permission to speak openly?
Absolutely.
Okay. Okay, so I'm just doing a general, I'm doing a 10 card spread. We may or may not go through each of the 10 cards, but the first thing that comes up for me is that there has been money is on your mind. You got your mind on your money and your money on your mind. So I'm seeing a whole lot of pentacles. So the first card that comes up is the 10 of Pentacles. And one thing I find really interesting with this card is that it's about legacy. So it's not just money. It's about really legacy. And so the first thing that I see here is that, you know, it's been really important for you to think about what you are leaving behind. Not just... So for you, I'm actually getting the sense that it's not just about the money and the things, even though that is a major part of it. Wondering if you're doing enough to leave the legacy you desire. But for you, I'm also getting the sense that it's about, is your name enough? Like, is there enough in the dash between your birth and your death date? Is that accurate?
That is dead on point from all angles.
Yeah. And interestingly enough, so then the next card is the 4 of Swords. And whenever I see this card, I see a few things. So I definitely see, you know, looks like somebody got the Midas touch. But for some reason here, what I'm definitely seeing is that the more that you're able to die to yourself, the more that what you touch turns to gold. And so it's almost like you've been called into this space where the person that you have been is dying in a way. And you've almost been called to redefine what makes Gerald Pimpleton
Oh my
and
God.
redefine what legacy looks like for you and why you're leaving the legacy in the first place. Um, of course, I know that we've spoken, and one thing that I always talk to you about is making sure that you're putting yourself first and that it's about you. And
Hmm.
so it seems like the space that you're in really has been a shift in, again, figuring out and almost redefining your why
Yeah.
you do what you do, and why it matters. Is that
Yeah.
accurate?
That is dead on point. I'm really just now getting into the space where it's okay to put me first.
Hmm. Hmm.
And you hit it the nail on the head, because my why that I've lived with for 10 years has been completely pulled out from under me.
Hmm. Hmm.
So to keep going, I had to redefine a why, and the only thing that was left was me.
Right.
So I had to become enough
Hmm.
for me to keep going.
That's it. Yeah. Understand that you are enough for you to keep going. So if you didn't catch that in the first reading in the beginning of this call, know that you are enough. Um, so the reason I said you got your mind on your money and your money on your mind is because the next card that comes up is the Knight of Pentacles. And so again, I'm seeing that money is, it's almost like, mm, okay. So what I'm hearing is that because money has been a security blanket and almost defined your worth for a while, which makes sense because, you know, of course, now you work in money. So that would make perfect sense.
Right.
It's almost like because that has been shifted, um, you're in this space where you're really kind of questioning your worth, period. Um, and questioning what you have to offer. And it's almost like because there's that uncertainty, you're even more focused on getting money. You're even more focused on pushing and driving the business because that is at least something you know you can do well.
It's my comfort zone.
Mhm.
It is my
Mhm.
comfort zone, and my knowledge of how that work has been, for a large part, um, my value.
Mhm.
That's been my value, and trying. I am at a place where I'm beginning to understand and try to feel my way around in that skin of, it's not just that I bring more value than just that. But
Mhm.
needless to say, that's not skin that I'm comfortable in yet.
Understood. Completely understood. What I heard as you were saying that is make sure that you're not getting so busy in the making a living that you're forgetting to make a life. And because it's like you're very singularly focused on, you know, at least if I can hit this number in my bank account, then at least I know I'm doing something right.
Right.
But if you look at this knight, he's always ready for war. He's in this defensive position and always ready for the next attack. Um, and it's almost like because he's so focused on this coin that he's holding, he's ready to fight off everything that's in the way of him getting this coin. Like I'm feeling like there's a certain softness that he's missing. And so even with all of this money, there still is a life that
Yeah.
isn't being lived. So I encourage you to, and I know for you that you're not even a material person. So I know it's not even about like what you can buy. It literally is like seeing this dollar amount just feels good.
Yeah. It's all about
Yeah.
it's all about
Yeah.
that feeling. And that's
Hmm.
you hit the nail on the head again. I mean, really it's so very difficult for me because I'm so singularly focused
Hmm.
from being in the military, being a drill sergeant, that I set a goal and I'm just hard pressed to hit that goal,
Hmm.
and I I see everything as a distraction,
Hmm.
and I literally forget. I mean, I've done that in my life with my children. I was so busy making a living that I missed the early years of their life.
Hmm.
Um, and I mean, that card is perfectly me because I literally had somebody say to me maybe a day ago, everybody's not against you. You do not have to be
Hmm.
defensive. Everybody's not out to
Hmm.
get you.
Hmm.
And that is an innate, a learned, I don't want to say innate, but it's been a learned posture.
Hmm.
And, I'm
And that makes
battling.
sense because you've had to defend yourself almost
Yeah,
your whole life.
yeah.
So that definitely makes sense. So the card that's showing in your distant past, and whenever we talk about distant past, generally this is from a few weeks, few months to a few years.
Now I'm
And
scared.
so what I see in this one, we have the Six of Cups. And funny enough, with this one, this is the Gerald Pimpleton that I have known since I met you. This, I am giving so much away. So a few things that you want to keep in mind. Number one, make sure that it is from your overflow. I tell you, I mean, what do I say? Fill your cup first, and here we are with cups, right?
Right.
So understand, so in tarot, cups represent emotions. And
Mhm.
so, yes, there's been this tendency to give away, but for a long time, it hasn't been from your overflow.
No.
It's been, I have this, so here you go. And while that's awesome, and, some would think that it's noble, it's not sustainable. And what happens is we hit this place where we realize, wait, I've given everything away and I have nothing for me.
Mhm.
And I feel like that's kind of the space that you are stepping into, is recognizing that you've been giving away your virtue, and almost like casting your pearls before swine, because some of the people that you've been giving to have not meant you well. Some of the people that you've been pouring into, it's like they see you with your bottle of water and they're like, "Oh, I know I got my water in the fridge, but I don't feel like getting that water. So can I have some of your water?" And
Right.
you're like, "I just ran this marathon. I'm parched." And they're like, "Yeah, but you can spare some water," and you freely pour it. And then they look at you wondering why you're thirsty as they're drinking your water.
Right.
Understand that you need your water first. And this is one that we talk about very often. You have to secure your mask first
Right.
before you have anything to pour. Another thing that I'm seeing with this card also is this reminder to stay present. Don't look at what was, don't look at what will be. And yes, we have to stay pointed in the direction of what we want. And we
Right.
use the past certainly as motivation, but you
Hmm.
have to stay in the right now in
Right.
order to navigate this space.
Hmm.
Um, and so looking at the card that's in the recent past. So recent past, funny enough, when I say recent past, normally I'm talking about, few days to weeks, months, but sometimes I do the recent past and folks are like, "Oh yeah, that was like 2 hours ago." So this can be anything from this moment to a few months ago. But definitely seeing some sleepless nights, some
Okay.
anxiety. And this is the Nine of Swords. So swords represent action. So on top of the anxiety and the frustration, and certainly I know the situation, so I know that's accurate. There's almost been a stagnation of action as well. And I'm getting the sense that it's not really that you haven't been doing anything, but you know when you're really sleepy, how you this actually happened to me this weekend. I had an expo and I hadn't slept the night before. And so the next morning I was putting together the vendor table, but because I was so sleepy, I literally kept moving around this stack of paper from one place on the table to another. No productivity, but I was working. I was
Right.
moving. And so I'm getting the sense that that there's been kind of a bit of a lack of focus,
Mhm.
but so much discomfort that it's just, I just have to do something.
Right.
Remember why you're doing this, and I know that your why has changed, but
Right.
remember your purpose. 200 millionaires that you want to personally be responsible for. Remember that and use that to guide your action so that, I always talk about inspired action in my classes. Use that to guide you so that you are taking that inspired action towards your goals and not just working just to be busy and not thinking.
Right.
Because that's what I'm getting the sense that it's almost like, well, if I do something, then I don't have to think about anything.
That's it. Dead on.
It,
I mean, if I
it's not going to work too long.
it's just not going to work out. That is not how this works. That's not how
Mhm.
any of this works.
Not how any of this works. So the good thing is the card that's showing in your future position. So again, we had a few pentacles and it was like money was really on your mind, stressing you out. Well, what I'm hearing is that money's the least of your worries. Card that shows up in your future position is the Ace of Pentacles. So again, Pentacles representing security,
Mm.
Pentacles representing finances. And we see what looks like almost the hand of God giving
Oh.
you what you need.
Mm.
And that literally has been your whole life. As soon as you have stopped resisting things in your life,
Mm.
amazing doors have opened up.
Yeah.
From the time you were born, would that be an accurate statement?
That is a very accurate statement.
Yes. So what I'm hearing is why would the God who has known you since you were in your mother's womb forsake you now?
Right.
You have what you need. This isn't about the money and it never has been.
Mm-mm.
But the money is causing enough discomfort for you to reevaluate the way you've been doing things.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Know that even the situation that you're in now, you've been carried. It's almost like God has been showing you those people who have you and you in a position where your pride can't even say no, thank you, I got it.
Oh my gosh. Yes. Oh my gosh. I mean, the
Yeah.
people that have come alongside me are people that I literally for months kept at arm's distance or was suspicious of or didn't
Mm-hmm.
get close to or have avoided. And those are the people that came alongside me
Mm-hmm.
and just poured out. And you're exactly right. I've been in a position where, I can't have a little stank attitude and be like, no, I'm too deep and meditational. No, I have to say yes.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, you're dead on. That's
Mm-hmm.
that's amazing.
Mm-hmm. What I'm hearing is that needs to become your new posture
You
is yes. And surrender. And notice that the same position of surrender is the same position to receive. How funny.
Wow. Wow.
Understand that your yes is not just for them. Your yes is not just for the situation. So you think you're saying, yes, I'm hungry. Thank you for this meal. That's not what you're saying. You're saying, yes, I recognize that it's my time to receive. And yes, I am open to receiving.
Right.
I find it very interesting that all of this kind of came to a head as we were doing 10K today.
I know. That's crazy to me.
Yeah. Yeah. Use the lessons that you got in that challenge to help you navigate this. Because
Yeah.
you absolutely have every single thing you need at your disposal.
Hmm.
You just have to use it.
Yeah.
You just got to use it. So that's what I have for you.
Oh my gosh. I gotta say this one thing, that you started out the reading with, that's, you're more than enough. And there's people like that. I literally had the most unlikely person,
Mm.
actually a person that I really had no interest in spending any time with yesterday morning. I was avoiding like the plague. And they literally sat across the table from me and held my hands and says, if you don't know anything else, you need to know that you're good enough
Yes.
and that you're more than enough.
Hmm.
And they texted me the same thing last night. And then when I talked to my 24-year-old daughter, which we've had a strained relationship, on her night
Hmm.
shift last night, she told me, Dad, I just want to let you know that I love you and you're more than enough.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And powerful. So that certainly is your message of the day. Know that if you never do a single thing again, Gerald, you are enough. So,
Yes. Oh
yes,
my God.
sir. So, I thank you for this opportunity. With this being your first reading, how was the experience?
It was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. As Steve Jobs says, you can only connect the dots as you look at them behind you, but this really connected the dots of the recent, the
Mm.
present, and it actually gave face to the influx, or my own personal word, Gerald word,
Mhm.
configuration of emotions that I've been
Yes.
feeling. It gave it a face. It
Hmm.
gave it a definition. It gave it some sense of, okay, that makes sense.
Hmm.
And we would, without knowledge, the people perish. So if I don't understand it, then I can't move fluidly in it, and that it's powerful, so powerful.
Very
Thank you
good.
so much.
Well, thank you. I appreciate your openness. I know, it's not easy to say, yes, I will sit there and bear my laundry in front of whoever, and whatever comes up, I'm open. So I appreciate you being so open and willing to show up in this way. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you again.
And for those who have been watching, if you would like your own reading, of course, this is Tarot Tuesday. So, I give all of the specials on Tarot Tuesday. So, if you are a member of my free group, you actually have an opportunity to get a reading for $1 a minute today, which normally my readings are about $97 for 45 minutes. So, $1 a minute, that is a come up. To get this special, just go into the free group. There's a post on there, and go ahead and leave your information, and I will reach out to you directly. I thank you again, Gerald, for showing up today. I thank everyone who has decided to watch and has gotten some benefit from this. And I'm around. So if you have any questions or comments, go ahead and leave those, and I will be sure to stop back through and answer any questions you have. Have a marvelous rest of your Tuesday and make it an amazing day. Thank you, guys.